Well, hello everyone and welcome yourselves to Frostpunk 2's Utopia builder. This is the endless mode essentially, and we are deciding on hanging rock. So I did say I'd go for that, and actually I'm changing my mind. I'm getting a crater. Crater it is, right? So we're going to go in, and then you get this options here that you kind of need to fill out as well. So we've got a location typical for generator construction. This site was chosen carefully to provide a large open area around it with conveniently placed resources. So what's our goal? There's three. So our ambition is either colonize the Frostland, develop a metropolis, or build a prosperous future. Secure a massive stockpile of food, goods and materials for the prosperous. Significantly increase the main city population, which is develop a metropolis. Or colonize the Frostland. Establish populous food, fuel, and materials. So this is kind of like the longer play, I think. Colonize the Frostland. So that's the one we'll go with. Community. We've got foragers, machinists, and random. Thinkers, lords, and random. Laborers, merchants, are random. I don't know too much about this yet. So, do I want to be... I think I'll go with... Oh, it's hard. Laborers, merchants, and random. Let's try that one. And then difficulty, we'll probably just stick with the first one to start. Citizen. Or do I go a little bit harder on the officer? Who knows? We'll just play as normal to start, and then we'll go with that. All right, here we go. The end of the world changes people. It changes us. Us, the laborers, factory workers, and manual laborers who learned you must toil together to survive. The merchants, traders and shopkeepers skilled in enterprise and bold ventures. The machinists. So we got the machinists as our random. Descendants of groups that built the initial cities and maintained their machinery. We chose you as our steward to lead the city as overpopulation looms and resources dwindle. We all dream of a better future. What it should look like. This we can't agree on. Tension stirs and radicals rear their heads. Navigating this will be our ultimate challenge. We will build a bright future. And so, our first utopia begins in the crater. Okay, we're going to pause it up to start then, and we're going to hold on and just have a little look over the resources. So a nice little area. We will be building out first. So a little tip I have learned is building out your ice breaking as soon as possible as the main thing you do, because your workforce does disappear as you start to build. And I want to get onto the map as soon as I can. So food looks okay. Parts look okay. We've got a little bit of coal down here, so we need to get onto the map as soon as possible. Good amount over here, so we'll probably be breaking towards this. We have food stock, so we're fine for a little bit. It's all about getting this coal up and running early and the beginning zones for our houses. So let's start ice breaking where we can. So we're going to start this way, and I'm going to uncover every coal node that I can there, and then we'll go see how it uses your workforce. So 200 a time, so just break down as many as you can. And then the other ones, we've got some materials here. Let's start going this way, so we can start getting some of those. It does cost your heat stamps as well, so keep that in mind. We've got food there, a little bit of food there. There is an infinite food here and a few more there, so I'll use these as my first. Getting a good amount of ice breaking going. And then we'll do one more ice break towards this. So we'll wait for that one to go. Then in the meantime, do we want to grab the resources then? Yeah, let's go and get these. There we go. And that should be everything we need. And then in terms of housing districts, that's squalor increase. We don't want to increase squalor, do we? We want to go around here, really, near the generator as our first view. So we'll get the 2 housing districts, I think, and that'll be a good chunk of our prefabs gone. You get a good heat bonus by going around, as I say, though. Near the generators, we'll build our houses around that. We're going to need to obviously get the research institute in once we can. So can't do that yet, though. Got to wait for one of the housing districts to come in. There are our missions here. So all problems. So we've got to get Windward Moor, Hanging Rock, and Dreadnought Colony on the go. 10,000 in each, so a whole lot to do there. Thank you so much for being here, though, guys. Really, really appreciate it. If you could hit the thumbs up for me, it really does help. It really, really does. There's our frost breakers coming in as well. And as I say, I'm running the campaign alongside of this, so I'm going to be pumping out the videos as well. Campaign is awesome so far, the ones I have recorded, so do check that out as well. All right, with that little bit of ice breaking done, let's continue this on as our next little step then. I'm basically going to uncover every piece of coal. Job number 1. Because we're going to get to that infinite one. And that's all of the coal we need to worry about now. So we don't need to go that way. And then once these are good, which I think they are already, we're going to make our way towards unlocking this section. We'll get our expedition going as well. There's some good expandable things there, but we're going to rely on the outside world quite a bit to get our resources in as well. So, majority of our people are laborers actually as well. There we go. Housing are in as well. You would hate to be living on the top there, wouldn't you? I didn't realize it was going to build up there. These guys nice and warm in there, and these guys freezing cold at the top. Oh, man. All right, I think all our ice breaking is done. I can't get the research institute down yet. It definitely goes on the housing one, so I'm confused as to why I can't place it yet, but it might be based on where we've built. So let's go ahead and see. I think we'll try and focus on getting just more housing, though. We need food and farm, so we'll get that going as well. And then let's come up here for our goods also. So let's unlock all of you, because that's going to be a good housing spot as well. And then let's go ahead and get our food district in. Oh, hold on. I might be able to. No, I don't think we can. So we're going to have to go... Oh, no. I can't quite reach it. So we might need to expand that across to get that food going anyway. But that's fine. We'll get that in with the storage as well. And we should be fine. We're going to need to expand the houses. So you have the option to either expand or build another one. So I think we need to ice break that kind of section to do so. Tell you what then, let's go for another housing district. I'm trying to stay away from that squalor section there early on because it's not something we want to have to deal with just yet. I think we go there. That will have to do. I use up a little bit more coal, but that's fine. And then we'll also get in our coal stuff. We'll get all the basic stuff going. So we'll get our extractor zone in. Let's just take as many of these as we can because we've only got... So 13 weeks worth, we're fine. 61 weeks worth of food at the moment. 8,000 population, so we'll need to be careful. And then we earn some heat stamps and some prefabs. So until we get all that going, there's not a lot we can kind of do. Let's also get logistics on the go. So we want to get out as early as possible. So let's get that one. I think you get 15 points to use out on the map. Once we have it, it pops up in the top right here. So Frostland teams, you get 15 for that small one there. There are buildings to expand that later on. I just want to point out our first colder season does begin in the not so distant weeks, to be fair. All right, we've started the food. It still hasn't helped. That is still going down. We're going to need to either expand, which we'll do. I'll just keep expanding towards these on the same zone. And then also getting materials in. So we've got enough prefabs just to get an extraction zone over here. So we want to try and get a surplus of these guys going. That's a good start, actually. Now, in terms of goods there, the only one we can kind of fix with that is through getting research, really. It's always something I struggled with, trying to get the goods in. But there's certain buildings you need to do for that as well. Let's just hover over and take another look whilst that's getting built. So prefabs, we might need to come and get some of these prefabs here as well. So let's keep ice breaking. I think frost breaking, I give it the wrong name. We can just about get in, I think. So we... Oh no, that one's good. It's already uncovered, so we don't need to worry too much. There's those there then. So do we have enough to get that district? We do. Perfect. Let's grab all of those. That's all our basic zones kind of done, really. We just want to make sure we're getting enough food in from these expansions and then maybe pushing this way if we need to. But we are completely out of prefabs now, so prefabs are going to be waiting on this one to get going as well. And look at that. We officially have our first access to the Frostlands. So when this opens up, you have the different areas you can explore. So at the moment, that requires 20 Frostland teams. This one's safe, so Frozen Bay is going to have some cores in. 16 weeks, but we're going to launch that expedition. It costs 10 Frostland teams. As you see, it's gone down there. And then what is this one as well? Oily husks. The husk of a machine remains in the snow, already picked clean of useful parts. Our scouts noted frozen oil around what remains of fuel tank. Mark this map with the direction of fuel. Cool. And then successful hunters. Our scouts passed a group of jolly-faced hunters they later described as having plenty of meat on their bones. In exchange for a spare heat lamp, the hunters reveal some details about their hunting grounds. A field full of lichen and moss where huge herds graze. Okay, follow this bearing should lead to a huge source of food. Mark this map. Okay, you see these little bearings that come on the map? Just want to show you. It kind of points you where you want to go to get these things. So that one said coal, right? Going that way. There's all different ones there. You got the plains over here that would have oil, coal, and materials. Let's close that one. The foothills have prefabs and cores. We're going to go this way anyway, though, so that's fine. There we have it. The start of our expeditions, and then we're slowly building out here. So I think we probably want to... Well, we need to look where we're going to put our housing, right? I'm not happy with where it's going to go. It's going to take a little while to fix that. We did eliminate all our problems from the city, though, as you can see as well, which is good. We do officially have some kind of coal coming in. It's not amazing. And we are going to run out. We got 6 more weeks, so we just need these prefabs to come in before everyone starts getting cold. We are okay. It'll just cause a bit of disease. It's not, like, stupidly cold. And this one will produce 15 per week as well, so that's fine. We could expand that and reduce some of our trust if we want to hammer through these. I'll just talk over some of this as well. So you can kind of fund projects, you can raise funds, you can demand funds to earn money as well from each faction, but it will give you a bad rep with them as well. You just get to watch as these districts kind of build out and get to work. And just enjoying our colony as we wait for these prefabs to come in as well. We're still fine. We still got plenty of these. The main thing is just going to be fuel, so we haven't got any kind of left. We've got a little bit coming in, but it is what it is. I can probably push them. I think, how much is it to expand this? We kind of need that coal as well, so let's get the expansion going. That cost us a few prefabs, but that's okay. And food is gradually improving as well. Let's take a look. How long left until we get to the Frozen Bay? 9 weeks. So it's worth noting a lot of it relies on the research to actually improve a lot of things. Obviously, I can't put it in yet. Just need those 10 prefabs, see if it lets me put it in. Oh, yeah. Also, we have the central, so let's get Council Hall in. That's going to help. So we'll get that one in first, actually, and then we'll get the Research Institute afterwards. It does tell you at the bottom housing, so I'm not sure why I can't put that in yet. It might be because I didn't put the council down. This is my first time running through the Utopia builder, so obviously I've only done the campaign for about 7 hours so far. All right, council is in now, so we'll be able to sort that one out. Let's go down here. So this little icon down the bottom, or C, is the shortcut. And here we are. We've established our first democracy-related building. Right, so we've got a few different things, and we've got to propose different laws. I think what I want to do is potentially propose something that will help. I think food might be good. Let's take a look at the other ones. Trust rises, or paid essentials. Production efficiency is slightly increased. I think that one would be good. Let's go paid essentials. See, we've got most that are 4, 51 hesitant, and 16 are 4. It is supported by the merchants. I'm going to propose... You can negotiate to get the hesitant to kind of go in, but I'm going to go for the vote and risk it a little bit and hope those hesitants actually want to get it. So we need 51 to win the vote. Come on. There we go. 59 for it, and we pass our first law, which should help with our input, actually. So we gained a little bit with that. So the amount of coal... So we're down to minus 85 now, just minus 38 food and just minus 35 there, which is going to help. So that law will help quite a bit. Okay, so one of these housing districts, we're just going to get them in. I'm actually going to expand this to go up. I think what I'll do actually is expand this one here because there's still a heat thing there. And that should satisfy the shelter need, which should be good. So we won't have as bad there. You need to keep an eye on heat stamps as well. So unmet demands for goods, that minus 40 over on the right with the red, that is causing us to gain less heat stamps per week as well. And looks like out on the map we are ready. So I will pause it up and let's see what we got for uncovering the Frozen Bay. So we got a bearing. The charred remains of a workshop stand out against the white snow. Black burns that could have only been caused by burning oil from the impressions in the snow. Right, we'll note the bearing. So that way is oil. Our scouts took shelter in this ice cave where they were startled to find they weren't alone. A man sat in the deepest chamber with crates of supplies and a core-powered furnace. It speaks to me. It tells me to stay, to wait for the great Thor, the man said again and again. He's clearly lost his mind. Our scouts believe it would be mercy to put him down. So we could take the core or leave the man alone. I'm going to take it because cores are good soon for some of the buildings. So, right, we got bearings for food this way, right? I don't really want to find the dwellers, though. I'll be honest with you. I kind of want to go... I think... Is it worth going that way? I think food we can get. Let's launch expedition here because we need to find oil as soon as possible. So 16 weeks will go towards the plains here. Okay, let's start breaking towards this prefab section as well, just to kind of prepare ourselves. That should help us get things done a little bit quicker. We are okay at the moment, though. I'm still fine. We've still got plenty of food to last us and plenty of materials. We just need to get on top, right? So we're fine. Fuel is our main concern. And we've got those to expand to still. So the only way we can kind of do that is by building a whole new district for those. We're actually going to have to ice break as well in order to make enough room for this one. So I'm actually going to go this way. The reason I'm going to go this way is there's a good shelter area in there. One of the best, actually, on this map. So let's start going into that crevice for a housing section. And we're only on -2 for the housing now. So the expansion didn't quite cover. So we are going to need another housing section as well. All right, we have our first people. Cutthroat economy, paid essentials. Steward, now that we are charging for essentials, some unemployed families are unable to afford basic necessities. Work goes to the worthiest. If these people were passed up, it's their own damn fault. They should put in the work instead of expecting the city to solve their problems, claimed one merchant's delegate. We're like capitalists here, aren't we? Others are more measured and say we can provide them with a weekly allowance. If we can't offer them to work, we will give them a budget. Up to them to use it wisely. What should we do? Paid essentials provides less heat stamps incomes. Let them fend for themselves. I'm going to be pretty harsh. Fend for yourselves. Get up, son. Time to get a haircut and find a job. I need the income. I'm sorry. I can now build the research institute. Now we've expanded that enough, though. That was the problem. So, yeah, just remember to expand it out. I did think that was weird. Normally you can put them in. I think I'm going to research the expanded housing, potentially, or I might try and get into some goods so we can get more heat stamps. But we can pass a law for the heat stamp stuff, so let's have a look. There's a couple of ways we can do it. There's the goods rule, which demand for goods is slightly decreased. That means it will cost less out of our heat stamps to keep that a good. The other ones would be paid essentials, production efficiency, or heat stamps income. Oh, we've already got paid essentials in force, wasn't it? That was the last one. So we want to go into the next one. Bear with me, guys. I'm all over the place. Main district produces a small amount of prefabs. I'm seeing that. And heat demand is decreased if we go for that one. I don't want to increase population at all yet. So we want to make sure we're good. Heat demand decreased is pretty good. Heat stamp income. I think most of these will pass if we do them. All right, time to vote then for this one. We're going to go for the prefabs. I think that's smart. This should pass with relative ease. Plenty are for it. Lovely. So we should have a slightly bigger income. So rather than 15, we've got 21. So I think we get, yeah, Central District now provides 5 prefabs per week. That's a good law, I think, to get things going a bit more. And here we go. Research Institute just finishing off now. We have the idea tree. Now, it does cost heat stamps, but we do have 50. It's enough to get one going. We need new ideas to move forward, so it's just a research tree, as you're aware of. So there's quite a few. So coal mines will keep us early on the good. We need it to get into the good ones over here. There's the generator upgrade, which actually, so each one, you can do certain things for solutions based on your people. We've got the machinists. We don't want to do that at all. Because sorry, wrong one. We don't have oil just yet to actually do the generator upgrade. We've got housing insulation. Base heat demand on housing districts is decreased. It's actually a really good one. Each one we can click through. They all agree with this, so they all like this idea. That's a really good contender for our first research. So housing insulation. Let's go resources. We have factories, which will be the goods and prefabs. Filtration towers. So let's take a look at what we can do with this one. Got to be careful because some of these require heat demand and they are buildings, so you don't want to do it, so to speak, sometimes. So Workforce requirement, I don't think that's an issue just yet. Then you've got sawmills. So I think 150 material output if we build sawmills on those areas. That's a good one for a little bit later. So I don't think we want anything from there. We do need a logistics bay at some point to set up the stuff and skyways with the outside world. But I'm not going to touch Frostland just yet. And then we have housing block, which is good early on to get housing needs met. But it does cause an issue with disease and stuff. One heat stamp upkeep, that would probably be the one I go for. And we'd have to work to making sure we've got heat stamps coming in. That's not bad either. The housing block, it's just a workforce and heat demand, to be fair. And we can slap some housing blocks on some of the buildings, which would be good early on to not worry about districts. Ooh, that's a contender that, as you can see, the research tree is huge and there's a lot to consider. Society, not sure I want any of those yet. And then hubs, we don't have heat stamps for. So I think we're going to go with the housing installation as our first research. That's probably a sensible one, right? Which will help us try and get a bit of a stockpile going. I do obviously need to consider expanding once more as well. So 50 heat stamps, we should be able to expand this housing district out a little bit as well. But now we've got the research, we should finally be able to open out and get our things done. We're 65% on the map as well. You can tell I'm just trying to take my time. I want to actually pass it. It's my very first time of Utopia. And obviously, do make it known if you want to see lots more as well. I want to increase the difficulty as I learn more and play all sorts of runs on the game. Now, we definitely need more coal up and running before this hits, right? So we've got to be really careful. We've got a double dip here, which is going to cause problems, and then a whiteout is going to come eventually. So we do need to make sure we're prepared with some coal stores for that. I think it's probably time that we try now. I don't know. I think we try and get in our extraction district on this coal. So we'll bring it this way so there's less heat demand in there, which is good. And that should, I'd say, get us to where we need to be here. Let's have a look what they want. Steward. Looming cold. Problems in the city. As the cold problem in our city continues to worsen, we must take action to protect our citizens. In these harsh conditions, people need a roof over their heads and enough heat to warm their homes. Is the generator powerful enough to heat the city, or do we need to extract more fuel? If our current methods aren't enough, we should consider alternatives. Cold has risen to a concerning level. I see. I'm working on it, guys. I will not let you down. Or I'll try not to. I might be a bit harsh with how I do it, though. Look at that research institute up on the hill there as well. Very cool. Look at them in the district as well. You can zoom right into it. Pumping away there. Haven't decided which progress I want to hit first here as well. I'll try and go through these. You've got adaptation, equality and merit, tradition and reason. Oh, yeah, progress and adaptation. Always good to progress as much as we can. So I might even... I don't know, it'd be cool, right? This is how you can tell your story. How are we looking? 3 weeks away from our expedition to the plains as well. I'm hoping the plains does have some fuel for us anyway, so that'll be what we need to consider. I think our next law will be for the heat stamps. And then next research will be to try and get some kind of thing set up for these guys. There we go, though. Fuel now, we are in plus 67 coal. Perfect. We might have enough just to stockpile for this, right? We've finally found a source of oil. It's located in Deathway Flats. I mean, that's not a nice name. We can now access and research all oil-related buildings and use them for the benefit of the city. Very nice. Well done, guys. Let's go out on the map then. Let's take a look. So let's pause it up. Landmark. A heavy steel door frame marked with the logo of the Imperial Exploration Company adorns the entrance of its cave. Its contents have been looted, with even the vault door taken for salvage. Carry on. Raided camp. I mean, oh my god, look at this. 50,000 coal, 50,000 materials in a temporary camp that lies abandoned next to a pair of wagons full of coal. Yep, let's take that. So that'll use 5 of our Frostland teams to get all of that in, but that's fine. And then the tar pits here. An outpost here could increase our supply of 100 oil until its 168,000 oil is depleted. So you need to connect a trail or a skyway. So as we haven't got skyways researched, we're going to have to just go with a normal trail back to the city for now. So you can just connect into your little posts that you have there. So that should bring us in the start of our oil. So one of our things we want to get is probably going to be, let's just zoom in and I'll show you, is going to be another one of these. So I am actually going to frost break. We're going to use the last of our heat stamps and try and get across to this. I think we're quite far away, so we need 2 lots, which is kind of frustrating, actually. It probably makes sense to go into here, then out to there, if we're going to make use of what we have. Like that, and then the next one, maybe 1 or 2 should be able to reach that. We can pass another law in 4 days, so I am going to zoom it through, and we're going to enter council and get that one done. All right, let's go in, and we're looking now to get some kind of money. So I think I don't want to allow the outsiders, if I'm honest. I think service exemptions here. It's going to be a close call here. But we want those heat stamps. 429 against 24. We could negotiate. I think labourers are mostly against. So we'd go vote for. And we'd have to go into these. I don't want to do the law. Equal pay. No. Use a community action. Grant agenda. Let labourers choose the next law to be voted on in council. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we'll get a good relationship with the labourers. That means we will pass our law. Guaranteed, because you only need 51, right? We're going to get the 62 instantly. Beautiful. And that'll give us our heat stamps here. I love the fact that we have to consider politics in here. It's great. So that should be now. Not a lot, actually, but it's an extra 1 or 2 per week. As you can see, we've got paid essentials and service exemptions, giving us just over 2 per week extra. And because labourers are our biggest party, to be fair, we've just done that. We could worsen relationship with them and gain a bunch of heat stamps. That might be what we do. Right, we need to think about this. If we do that, we get a good amount of heat stamps to progress, and then we could grant agenda as the next one, because they're going to be able to pass a law then themselves. The problem is I don't want to vote. We'd have to negotiate against for the outsiders coming in. We don't want to have to deal with that until we're ready. There we go. Asbestos lining is in now. So houses, look at that. We've got a good surplus now. So our stockpiles will be going in. Now we want to look to more housing and more food, right? So with these extra ones that have come in, oh god, 1199 more people live among us. So that is a housing problem now. So we're going to need a housing district. No matter how we look at it, there are squalor issues over here. Do we frost break? We have this one that we started. I think we frost break this one out and get a large housing area in here. And then we'll build out towards it eventually anyway. The city grows. Steward, a new count has revealed significant growth in our population in recent weeks. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers from the Frostlands, others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we have adjusted our calculations of the city. I think I'm going to do it, guys. Do I do it with these? I kind of need... How much? If we raise funds... 110 from those guys. 213 from the merchants, but we'd have to look after the merchants somehow afterwards, which is a problem. Use grant agenda on labourers, though. We do need to do that, don't we? Let's go ahead and do that. So there's our trust rises and relationship improves. That's good. Good to know. That does mean when we can do the next one, we could raise funds now. I might hold fire. What I'm going to do is just get enough heat stamps to get another research on the go, though, before we consider our next step, because I think we might need to go into the housing one. So coming into here, let's have a look. The housing block here, I think, is going to be the sensible thing. Don't want the housing, the disease. I think this is the one. Slightly, yeah, why? That gives you 25. That only gives 10 shelter, though. These give 20, but costs heat stamps. This gives disease slightly increased. So if we were to go down this route for the extra shelter, you'd have to go into hospitals. I think I'm going to come into this one here. The 10 shelter. We can build a couple, right? 2 more would cover our needs here. And here we go. Sue Miller, 12. Street urchin. Looking for trouble. Cindy's pa when Anne got her a governess like she's going to be a duchess or something. Do I even need to put this accent on, guys? I sound like that anyway. Not on our watch. We roughed up the little bitch, all right. Ferguson's boys will learn this too. All right. Lack of law regulating childhood is causing tension to rise throughout the city. Jeez. And it's 12-year-olds. Crack down on them. just seen what's coming. So we got a double dip, then a warmer season afterwards. So I think we'll be all right. As long as we stockpile. Looks like we already have that anyway, though, don't we? We might want to get a fuel stockpile. It's 80 heat stamps, though. So there's no real way we can kind of get that going. Let's have a look out here. Right, our fuel is here. Thought I connected the trails. Did I not have the goods to do so? Ah, right. Okay, we don't have the goods. That's why. Although we don't want to do that yet. We've actually got enough to not grab that oil. So what we want to do is use the 15 to continue. So let's go into... Ooh, can't do the Highlands now. 20 Frostland teams. They're all dangerous. This one's safe, which has food as well in the valley. So let's launch the expedition for that. 17 weeks and it costs 10. Alright guys, that is going to be where I end out this first episode. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate you. Hopefully lots more to come. Looking forward to getting really, really stuck into this game as I learn it and we go out. But guys, subscribe if you aren't already. Thumbs up. Really, really appreciate you. Take it easy and I'll catch you in the next one.